You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode number 225.2. Grant Shouse recaps the NIT Championship between Tennessee Chattanooga and UC Irvine at Hinkle Fieldhouse.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Grant, the first thing I have to say is Anteaters versus Moccasins is one of the coolest showdowns of all time. But then I have a question for
Yeah.
you. I have a question for you. What's a bigger deal, making the tournament and losing in the first round or winning the NIT?
I've always thought that for programs like UC Irvine and Chattanooga, I would think you would be more content with winning the NIT. I mean, that's winning a championship. You're winning and you're playing basketball in April. I
With
mean,
only 4 teams left in the entire nation to play.
exactly. I mean, you are two of 6 teams that are still playing college basketball as of Thursday night.
Right.
So my thinking is that I would much rather in the NIT. And that's kind of the question I raised last year with Indiana State. Would you rather have made the tournament as an at-large team because you didn't win your conference tournament? You actually lost to Darren DeVries and Drake. Little full circle moment there. But would you have rather?
I think it's a little different for teams that feel like they could make some noise. And every team feels like they could make some noise. But if Indiana's tournament last year, there's a chance they're one of those 12-5 winners. I don't think if either
Maybe.
of these teams get in the tournament, they were going to win a tournament game.
I mean, maybe. My thing is with Indiana State, I mean, would you have rather gotten in the tournament as an at-large or whatever, or a play-in team, maybe won a game or two, or maybe only just won your first round game and then got beat and you would have been, done for 2 weeks? Or would you have rather played another 2 weeks, basically play a home game, basically play home games all throughout because you hosted in the NIT, and go on this run and come up just short of winning an NIT championship? I mean, that's what I think. I think if I'm a program, especially like UC Irvine and Chattanooga, teams that if they get in the NCAA tournament, they're not going to win a national championship. They're
No,
not even
but
going to go to the Final Four.
no, but
But
Grant, winning a game in the NCAA tournament for a program like that is way bigger than anything the NIT could. As
I
great
don't
as that
know.
is,
I disagree. I think winning a championship, no matter at what level, I think would be better than just winning one game in the NCAA tournament as one of those teams.
no, but as far as like Irvine and Chattanooga, teams that are in the smaller conferences, I would think you would, if you have a mid-major, that means you have to have a small major, and these two are definitely small majors. They play one AA football. A program like that, I definitely think the NIT is better than getting in and getting blown out in the first round, or just getting beat in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win championships, don't you? That's what you want to
Yeah.
build your program off of. And that's kind of what, at least for now, because you don't know what the future is with the college basketball crown nowadays. The NIT is, I think, kind of becoming it's not the second tournament after the NCAA tournament. It's the third
Right,
because you
but
have the crown with the other, Big East and Big 12 and all and Big 10, all those other teams. So I think that the NIT kind of has become this third option, and
well,
it
but
now
Grant,
leaves it now leads or it now leaves more opportunities for these small major teams like Chattanooga and Irvine to cut down nets and win championships.
I'm not sure this is the best year to be making this argument, Grant, but don't you think typically that good mid-major teams are better than middling Big East, Big Ten, SEC, ACC teams?
I mean,
Typically,
it just depends, I think. I mean, depends on the year. I mean, again, go back to last year with Indiana State, a mid-major team out of the Missouri Valley. They were not able to conquer and beat a mid-level Big East team in Seton Hall who won the NIT. So I think that's what I'm saying now with this new crown, the college basketball crown, is the fact that I think that now leaves more opportunities for these smaller teams
Yeah.
to make noise in their own tournament and play with teams their level in the NIT. Teams
And
that they level of teams they've played all year.
and the NIT has the name. And I think that venue, and it's kind of a shame it's not at Madison Square Garden. It's kind of what it was all about. But the venue, and with next year having the Division II and Division III national championships the same weekend, that's the plan, right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes.
They really got something there. I think they can have something special that maybe some of those other big schools will want to be a part of.
Well, I think what the plan is for next year is they're going to kind of change I wouldn't say the format, but they're going to change the schedule on the NIT. I think this is the way I interpret it, and I could be wrong, but I think the plan is to play your two NIT semifinals game on Thursday. So play them like last night. Then you have your Final Four stuff on Friday, your Fan Fest, open practice, those kind of things. Then have your Final Four games on Saturday. I don't know what they're doing with the Division II and III championships quite yet, but have your Final Four games Saturday, and then on Sunday is when you have your NIT championships. And you do that Sunday evening after the women's would
After
have
the women,
concluded
yeah.
theirs. Yeah, and because ESPN has the right. That's all the big thing is. TV
Yes.
controls all of it.
Yes.
ESPN has the NIT. They have the women's tournament. CBS and Turner Sports has the men's tournament. Fox Sports has the college basketball crown. So I think that I think the plan is to play those two semifinal games on Thursday at Hinkle, and then come back Sunday evening in between the Final Four and National Championship Monday, and play the NIT Championship on Sunday evening, late Sunday afternoon, something like that. So if
That
that's
sounds like a great plan.
I think that is a good plan, and because then what it does is then it now leaves the whole weekend for basketball.
Right.
It's not like you wrap up the NIT and then it's like, oh, now we got the Final Four. It's now the Final Four and the NIT all in the same weekend, all within 5 miles of each other. Just
Yeah.
blocks of each other. And so that's why Indianapolis is the greatest host city, especially for those kind of things. And I cannot wait till this week, a year from now in 2026, man. Already thinking about booking the hotel room and just staying down there for a week. I can't wait.
It's definitely the capital of the world for college events, no doubt about it.
Absolutely, and I think the city of Indianapolis is really good with that kind of stuff, with hosting the NBA All-Star
Well, they do it a lot.
weekend. Yeah, they host the NBA All-Star weekend last year, and I think that kind of gives them what they want to do next year with the NIT, D2, D3, and then ultimately the Final Four and National Championship.
Well, let's get the women there too, and just have them all in the same place.
Yeah, and the women, I believe the Final Four is coming to Cambridge in 2028. I
It
believe
is.
it's either 27 or 28. I think it's 28. So
I
we'll
believe it.
see.
I think I saw that last night. I was. So let's talk about the game last night. After talking about the
Yep.
NIT for 9 minutes, and really, that's what I wanted to spend quite a bit of time on. But it was a really good game. Like I said before we started talking, it wasn't a high quality game the whole time. There were the shot selection I thought was poor at times for both teams. But it was never more than 7, 9 points apart. Every
Yeah.
time there was a gap in the score, it was quickly closed. Grant, I looked and I could not find the number of lead changes and ties, but it had to be an NIT record. It seemed like every 2 minutes a different team was leading. And the largest lead by both teams was 8. That is quite a competitive game. And then, of course, we will talk about the endings, which were the end of overtime, or the end of regulation and the end of overtime were nuts.
It was. I mean, it was everything a championship game, really. I think everything you would have wanted in a championship game came down to the wire. Clutch shots, big plays down the stretch. Probably one of the more entertaining games. I think maybe of the entire postseason. regardless of NCAA tournament or NIT or whatever. It truly was really fun. And the NIT did such a great job with hosting, and shout out to the fans from UT-Chattanooga that made the drive up from Tennessee for this event. They really, that place, to me, I feel like doesn't get that loud. But last night it got pretty loud. It got pretty rocking a couple times, and that's again, it was everything you wanted in a championship game.
And one of Chattanooga's most famous alum, of course, Terrell Owens was there.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know their other famous alum, Mr. Belding. Was he there?
Considering I don't know who that is, I have no idea.
I knew you would have no idea. That was from far before your time. And also John Lovitz, was he there for UC Irvine?
Who that is?
Oh, come. All right, Grant. Tell me about the finish to the regulation, because it was a really crazy sequence. And man, one thing I've been saying a lot this year is free throws, man.
So basically, what happened if you missed it? UC Irvine had the lead. They were up 2 right for Chattanooga with about 10 or 12 seconds to go, gets fouled on a 3. He makes all 3 free throws to give him the lead. Or I believe it was tied. Yeah, that's right. It would have been a tie game, and he hit all 3 free throws to give him a 3-point lead. UC Irvine then comes down with Miles Che, who had a really good tournament, and kind of paid attention to him before the semifinals and championship and just watching it on TV.
Like him.
Yeah, he came down and got fouled on a 3 himself. He goes to the line, he hits the first 2, and he could have won. He could have won the game for him at the free throw line, and he missed the 3rd free throw. They got the rebound, and there was a foul called. It goes to overtime. Like, in overtime, Garrison Kiesler for UT-Chattanooga hits a free throw line jumper to give them a 1-point lead. Irvine comes down. They miss a shot. Chattanooga gets the ball. They have to foul. They go down, miss both free throws. Chattanooga gets the rebound, immediately calls a timeout. Now you're thinking they have a chance to get a good look here. The 2 seconds is, I wouldn't say plenty of time, but 2 seconds is enough time to get a good look at a shot, a long-range shot.
But they got a way better look than I expected.
Here's how that happened is they ran a full court play, a lob down the floor. Bent Loyston, their big 7'1" center from Germany, jumps up and catches it, turns and finds a wide open UC Irvine teammate under the basket. What a pass. And he was wide open.
Wide open.
Misses a wide open layup at the buzzer that would have won the NIT championship. Missed it. And that place we were, oh man, but what a great game. What a finish.
To be fair, he had to have felt rushed to get that layup in, and that probably affected him.
Well, no question, because it was short. I mean, the layup, it wasn't like it was like he bricked it off the rim. Like, this was a layup that came up short. And, I don't even know how to, you just have to kind of see it to know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, go look at it on YouTube. It was a crazy finish. It's a game that if you went to, you'd be get on the phone to your friends, telling them about how it ended.
Yeah, if your friends aren't like mine and they care about that stuff.
Right, exactly.
But no, it was really fun. Got to give a shout out to Devin Tillis for UC Irvine, had a really great tournament. Honor Huff for Chattanooga had a really good tournament. They both made the all-tournament. To really see who won the tournament MVP, although I did get to vote.
Trey Bonham.
Okay, he won. Okay,
I don't know, but to me, if I was going by the championship game, he was the best player on the floor.
Also, not to mention, he hit a half-court shot at the buzzer to send it to at the end of the first half. Literally from half-court, he hit a shot to give Chattanooga a 1-point lead going to halftime.
Yeah, just so much to talk about, so many highlights from a very competitive game and a great event.
Yeah, here's the thing with Chattanooga in that game, Greg, is that there were multiple. I remember on at least 2 occasions where if you add up all the time together, they went at least 7.5, 8 minutes without a field goal.
Yeah,
Like they had droughts in that game where they did not score.
yeah,
It's
like I said,
amazing that they won the game.
some poor shot selection at times.
Yep, and they just couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. But yeah, just a very entertaining game, and hopefully we get 2 entertaining games in the Final Four on Saturday.
Yeah, I hope to go take in that NIT next year now that it's in Indianapolis again. I'd like to. It's been a like childhood since I've been in the Butler or the Hinkle Fieldhouse. So,
Man,
um,
you really,
yeah,
it's a nice place, man.
yeah,
It's great. It's if you like basketball, Hinkle Fieldhouse has got to be on your bucket list to get to a game.
very historic place.
It's called Historic Hinkle Fieldhouse for a
That's
reason.
right. That's right.
Yep.
Lots of players like Oscar Robertson and like that played some of their best games in that building and will be
Yep.
remembered forever for that. So,
Well, I mean, think about it. The main one of the main folklores of Indiana basketball took place in that arena
that's right.
with Milan in 1954. So
Yeah, great place to watch basketball. Grant, thank you so much for your time again. And you are truly a fanatic. I think your fanaticism goes. I grew up with my best friend was Craig Brunimer, and we were fanatics. All we talked about was sports. I think you're even surpassed us.
you think?
Yeah, going
I'm
to an
gonna take
NIT
that as
championship on a
I'm gonna
busy
take that
week.
as a I'm gonna take that as a superb compliment.
Well, you've earned it. You, how many games have you counted up? How many basketball games you went to this year?
I know how many college games I went to this year because I kept track. I guess I could really go back and look.
I bet it's 100.
Oh, it's close. It's probably over 100 if you count the games I did for the radio
That's
too.
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was talking.
then it's way over 100. In terms of college games, I got to see 35 games this year,
Man, that means
which actually
half of
which
your
actually
year
was
was spent. Half of your year was spent in a basketball arena.
more, but I wouldn't want it any other way. Um,
I know you wouldn't, and that's what makes you a great reporter. And go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I appreciate it, Greg, and I went to 30. I got to 35 games, which is actually below the number of college games I got to last year, which was 38. And
Wow.
my goal for this year was 40. So I missed it by 5 games. And I had opportunities, and I just, you know,
You get
other
tired
things come
sometimes.
up. Yeah, you get tired, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then some things just don't work out the way that you hope. But the goal is for next year is to go harder on some of those things and reach that goal of 40 games in 1 year, which is a small goal, but compared to some other ones I've seen where guys will get to 80, maybe 100. Some can get to 100 games. It's unbelievable across men's and women's. But looking forward to next year. And for me, the 25-26 season starts on Tuesday. So
It
looking
absolutely
forward to it.
does.
Thank you so much to Grant. Over 100 live basketball games this year. This is why I wanted him on my team. I love his passion. And thank you for listening. If you want to see the Central Indiana Sports Report continue to grow and thrive, please share this episode with your friends and family. We humbly thank you in advance. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.